the Knicks were all Nova up until they traded Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle for big. Sorry. They've been one of the more active teams, and they made a lot of moves, but can they contend this year? Now, I want to talk about Cat's impact first and kind of introduce Cat to this Knicks team. Obviously, I think the Knicks are going to be contenders. They're going to be one of the top two teams in the East, But Cat, kind of a big deal. It was kind of one of the bigger trades, acquisitions, what have you, of the offseason, with like PG going to Philly and other stuff like that. But Cat averaged 22, 8, and 3 in 62 games, shooting 41% on 5 attempts from 3 in Minnesota this past season. I thought it was honestly more. You look at it right here and it's like, you only shoot 5 threes a game. I feel like that's not, like, we just covered Dante DiVincenzo, who we got traded for in Minnesota, and he's shooting like almost 9 threes a game, and he's shooting 40%. And it's like, I get there's things with like spacing where like a big guy is doing that versus like a shooting guard, but I for one of the greatest shooting big men of all time, I honestly thought it would be more than 5 threes a game. I mean, that's only 6 points from threes that you're averaging. It's still a remarkable number, but I mean, look right here. He's averaged almost 8, and that's way different. 41% on 8 attempts is way different than 5 attempts. So it's gonna be interesting how that volume, if it spikes, if it drops, stays the same in New York. I think it probably will jump up. I think it'll be around maybe 6 to 7 threes a game. We'll have to find out. I just think it's because he's like one of the main. He will be the main big man on a contender, like a legit contender. And so he's been a main big man in Minnesota, like back here, but when were they really contending? And they had that 1 year with Jimmy, but it's like that I don't think that they were really like contenders. They weren't really like, the Knicks this year, 100% contenders. That's why I started with that, is because they are contenders. And so he will be the main big guy on this team. So I hopefully think that they'll utilize him. He's got that connection with Tibbs, even though it was kind of rough in Minnesota with Tibbs there a little bit when he comes to T-Balls a couple years ago. But they're back together. Hopefully they chopped it up and got it chilled out. But I think he could average a lot more. He could be around that maybe 23 range, 23, and if Cat can give me 23 and 9 on 40% shooting on like 6 attempts, that's 6 to 7 attempts. That's pretty freaking good. Maybe 6. I'll say 6. That's a good number. Because he's 5.3, 6.3. You get the point. That'd be awesome. As we all know, the Knicks gave up a lot of assets to get Cat, and so how is that going to fare for their depth? You already know we got the depth chart right here. I mean, what else would I do? This is a contenders and defenders video. What you thought this was, bro? I mean, I checked this out like a couple days ago when I was writing this video. I don't know why all of New York is apparently just day to day. I don't know what's going on. But Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG, and Cat is a great starting 5. Like, top 5 starting 5s in the league. It's probably like Celtics, Thunder, obviously. Then you probably the Knicks is probably like right there. I mean, then you get like Timberwolves, maybe the Bucks, just because Giannis and Dame. This is a top 5 starting 5 in the league. This is sick. I'd like to see. Last time I checked, they put Josh Hart at the 4 and OG at the 3, and I was like, I get it, because rebounding, but like really, that's what we're doing. But yeah, OG at the 4, Josh Hart at the 3. I don't know why everyone's day to day. That's because I'm gonna do a preseason. But their depth, their depth. Now they did give up, like I said, a 40% 3-point shooter who was shooting like 9 threes a game, and Julius Randle. I think Dante was like the bigger asset, honestly. If I'm being completely 100% transparent, I think Dante was the bigger steal for Minnesota. If New York keeps Dante on that trade and gets Cat for Julius Randle, then it's a completely different story. 100% fleece, because then you got a solid backup guy. But Preston Chua, cool. Mitchell Robinson's out until January, I believe. With the foot or knee, I don't know what it is at the time, but prayers up for that guy. Hopefully he gets better and gets to playing basketball soon. But Miles McBride, I like Deuce. I mean, if you heard Deuce McBride, I actually thought Deuce McBride and Miles McBride were different people. Same dude. Didn't realize that, but yeah. So Deuce McBride, good backup guy. Campaign, so not a ton of depth, I guess. You got Landry Shamet, who's played a little bit. You got Jericho Sims, who was, I guess, in a dunk contest at one time. But outside of that, not a whole lot of guys on the bench. But is that really going to matter? Like we saw this past year, they made a big move, moving RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly, and getting back like OG. They got OG to get back like Boyan. They got Alec Burks. So they can make a couple more of those trades. I don't know what their pick situation is and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not over for this team to kind of realize, hey, we need that bench to kind of This team will win you 55 games in the regular season, 100%. That's like the minimum. I wonder what it is. We'll check it out. You can check it out later. I'll find out. But this team will get you 55 wins, probably, like most likely. In fact, they are my dark horse to win number 1 seed in the East, and that's because you just look historically at champions trying to go back to back, and it always is like, man, the Celtics won 64 games. This next year, I mean, it's going to drop off because it's like the main example was the last team to go back to back was the 2017-2018 Warriors. 2017 they won like 67 games, I think, and then 2018 they won 57. And even though they won back to back championships, that win percentage, they didn't win the number 1 seed that second year. So it becomes a little bit scarier if you really want to say, hey, we can go all out again, or we can kind of wait and then maybe not get the first seed and kind of have to ball out a little bit harder towards the end of the season. And the Knicks could, I think they're the prime candidate, maybe with the Bucks if Giannis is healthy, to steal that number 1 seed from the Celtics. Just because I don't think the Celtics are going to go 64 games again. Like, that was insane, especially with Porzingis not being healthy. But this isn't. I've already made a video about them. It's up here in the corner about the Celtics stuff. But 100% Knicks are contenders. Like, it's not even close. Their biggest competition is Boston, and I think Milwaukee. PG just hyperextended his knee, just like straight up prayers out. I know as a Clippers fan, I can say a bunch of jokes about PG not being healthy, but that's not what I want to do in this channel. I don't want to be negative. It's just, I've hyperextended my knee before, and dude, I watched my knee freaking like, I don't know if this is a good visual, but I watched my knee and my foot come towards my face because I was up on a dunk ball game, and then my knee was just black, and I hyperextended it and it hurt so bad. So watching that clip back for PG hyperextending his knee, prayers out. So I don't think the 76ers, for that reason, it sounds like it's not a big deal, but I just saw that yesterday and I wrote this video yesterday, and so I was like, okay, like I'm gonna put the Sixers out to the side right now just because I think the Knicks are already kind of par with them. I think with that, if that ends up becoming a big thing, which hopefully it doesn't, I put the Knicks on. That was too long of an explanation. Shout out PG. Hopefully he gets better. But once again, I low-key think they could take the 1 seed, which would make things super interesting. Oh yeah, and I did have that down. Yeah, the Warriors did go 67-58. So I think that the Knicks can be a contender and get the 1 seed. And if they get the 1 seed in the playoffs and they play the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, it could get really interesting. With, like, could you imagine New York in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they have the 1 seed, they have home court advantage, Game 7, New York to go to the finals for the first time in however the freak long it's been for New York, bruh. That's a game I want to watch, bruh. So that's my hope. I think it's actually going to happen. I think that the Knicks are going to get the first seed. But this lineup's not terrible. Getting McHale, getting OG, getting Cat, they pushed in their guys, and we're going to have to see how it goes. Maybe the Celtics, hopefully there's not injuries involved because no one ever wants to see that. But if it's just straight up good, hard ball, this Knicks team, along with the Bucks, have a great shot, like the best shot at, I'd say maybe in the league, at getting rid of the Celtics. Outside of that, there's maybe 1 or 2 teams out west that maybe could do it. But outside of that, Knicks are 100% contenders. This is episode like freaking 20 or something about my Contenders Pretender series. So if you've not seen any of those, you're brand new to the channel. Check it out. It should be right here somewhere. I think it's gonna be like right here. Playlist. I'm doing every single team. I'm trying to crush like 10 videos in the next like 7 days, a week from the day before the season starts. So if you like it, go check out your favorite team. Let me know your guys' comments. Let me know your thoughts. That's all I got for today. I want to make this YouTube thing work, so let's go. That's all I got for today. We are out.